Hello, dear people. How are you doing? Are you okay? I think you are doing well. This is a great moment. Take your notebook and a pen and try to write or to rewrite this lesson because this lesson is very important. We are going to teach you the lesson which is going to help you increase or develop your vocabulary in English. I am going to teach you how to use speak in different ways. We are going to see some expressions with verb to speak in different ways. That is what we are going to be talking about now. Are you ready? Are you ready to learn this lesson? As always, I am Teacher Jasper. This is Pan Edutainment. But if you are a new student, please, I would like to inform you that you should subscribe to our channel in order to get our lessons each and every time. Are you a new student? Uri umunyeshuri musha, try to subscribe to our channel. Kanda kuri subscribe ujibona amasomo masha. Another thing that I want to tell you before I start this lesson, mbere yuko ntangira iri somo, try your best to come to Special Modern Language Center. This is a center that can teach you English very well. It's a center that is located at Kimirongo currently. Umungubu center yacu aho twigishiriza Icyongereza n'izindi ndimi iri Kimirongo kugeza ubu niho turi gukorera. Ngwino tukwigishe rero. Another thing that I want to tell you is this one. If you want to speak English very well, you should try to communicate in English language. Try to look for your friends and relatives and you speak English with your friends. This is going to help you so much. No matter how many lessons that you get, if you don't want to communicate, if you don't want to speak, niba udashaka kuvuga ntabwo uzamenya. Nubwo waba ufata amasomo angana ate. You will not speak English if you don't want to open your mouth and speak. The laboratory of a language is your mouth. Laboratory y'ururimi buriya ni umunwa wawe. Try to test yourself. Try to practice a lot. Try to do a lot of exercise. This is going to help you so much become a very good English speaker. Biraza kugufasha kuba umuntu uvuga Icyongereza neza. Rero nta handi wabikura aho ngaho nukuza mu ishuri, nukuba wiga ibingibi ukaganira n'inshuti n'abavandimwe niba udafite school fees, niba udafite amafaranga y'ishuri. Ushobora kuba udafite amafaranga y'ishuri, ariko niyica n'ubwayo ishobora kuba yagufasha. Ariko niba ufite amafaranga y'ishuri kugira ngo uzamure level wihuta nukuza no mu ishuri. Tukakwigisha kuri Zoom cyangwa se kuri Special Modern Language Center mu ishuri neza nyirizina Kimironko aho duherereye kano kanya. Muri etage ya Magnificat urenze gare gatoya. Uhita ubona etage urenze ukirenga gare ya Kimironko. Very nice. So these are expressions with the verb to speak. But before teaching you this lesson, please, my dear student, allow me to give you our today's word, which is trier. Our today's word is trier. Trier. Do you attend some triers? Trier. A trier means what? A trier, it's a conversation. This is a conversation between the accuser and the accused. And when even the judge is there, there is the trier. Trial ni ibiganiro hagati y'ushinjwa n'ushinja ndetse hari na judges cyangwa se n'abacamanza. Muri make trial mu ijambo rimwe ni urubanza. Urubanza turwita trial mu Cyongereza. Trial. For example, here you can say, I was in a trial when the accused started to cry. I was in a trial when the accused started to cry. Nari ndi mu rubanza igihe ushinjwa yatangiraga kurira. The accused. Trial. Trial, urubanza. How was the trial yesterday? Urubanza rwagenze rute? Nukuzabivuga. Trial niki? Urubanza. Juza hano hakiri kare. Nimugoroba saa 12 utangire wiga isomo umeze neza nyuma y'akazi. Maze koga umenye amagambo nkaya kuri Pan Edutainment. Good. So that is a trial, urubanza. So we are going to see some expressions with verb to speak. We are going to start with this first expression, which is speak to the point. To speak to the point means what? Don't say point. Point. To speak to the point means what? To speak to the point is to talk directly. To tell somebody something directly without beating around the bush. Ni ukubwira umuntu ikintu ako kanya udaciye ku ruhande, udaciye ikibungo. Harya no nukurasa ikibungo, no guca ikibungo, no guca ikibungo. Yes, udaciye ikibungo. That is to speak to the point. For example, you can say, please speak to the point. We don't have much time here. Please speak to the point because we don't have much time here. Gerageza urase ku ntego. To speak to the point ni kimwe na to go to the point. Go to the point, speak to the point. Oh, yesterday he spoke to the point because it was about to rain. Ejo yahise arasa ku ntego kuko imvura yari igiye kugwa. That is to speak to the point. I always speak to the point. Iteka ndasa ku ntego. Do you speak to the point? I need your comments. I need your comments there. Nyeneye comments zanyu if you speak to the point. My question is this one. Do you speak to the point? Do you speak to the point when you are talking to somebody or to someone? Ese yuri kuvugana n'umuntu urasa ku ntego. To speak to the point ndumva yumvikanye. To speak to the point means to talk something directly or to talk about something directly. Kuvuga ikintu ako kanya udaciye hirya no hino. That is to speak to the point. For example, you can say, please, it is getting dark. Buri kwira. Speak to the point. We don't have a lot of time here. Nta mwanya munini dufite. Try to speak to the point. To speak to the point means to talk directly. The second expression with speak is this one. To speak in someone's ear. To speak in someone's ear. To speak in someone's ear ni ukujya mu matwi y'umuntu ukamwongorera. That time you are speaking in someone's ear. Nukuja is to whisper. That is to whisper. To whisper something to someone privately. If you whisper or if you are whispering something to someone privately, you are speaking to that person's ear. Yesterday, he spoke to my ear when we were in the meeting. Turi mu nama yaraje aranyongorera. Do you speak to some people's ear? Ese rimwe na rimwe ujya wongorera abantu? Yes, you can say, oh, teacher, sometimes I speak to my wife's ear. Rimwe na rimwe hari igihe nongorera umugore wanjye when we have visitors. Yes, most of the people used to say that. Most of the people used to do that, especially when you are in a wedding, in a meeting, in a class, mu ishuri kugira ngo mwarimu atumve ibyo ugiye kuvuga ushobora kongorera umuntu. To speak to someone's ear ni ukugira gute kongorera umuntu. Here you can have this is an example here. He spoke in my ear last night. Mu ijoro ryakeye yanyongoreye. Ushobora no kuvuga uti he spoke in my ear last night when we were in the party. Mu gihe twa turi mu gitaramo yanyongoreye. He spoke in my ear last night when we were in the party or in that party. To speak in someone's ear. We are going to continue with number 3. This is a number 3 expression that is mostly used. Number 3 expression is mostly used in English language. Speak with authority. To speak with authority. Ni ukuvuga nyine wemye ushize amanga. Kwa kundi wumva umuntu ngo uriya muntu akunda kuvuga ashize amanga, nuko abazi ibyo avuga. If you don't speak English very well, you can't speak with authority. Ntabwo ushobora kuvuga ushize amanga utazi nyine ibyo uri kuvuga. Rero n'uzumva umuntu bavuga ngo ari kuvuga ashize amanga, abazi ibyo ari kuvuga. So, if you want to speak with authority, you should come to Special Modern Language Center. If you want to speak with authority in English language, mu Cyongereza, ngwino tukwigishe. So to speak with authority is to speak confidently and knowledgeably about a topic. That is to speak confidently and knowledgeably about a topic or a subject. Do you get it? Rero kuvuga ushize amanga mu Cyongereza ni to speak with authority. This man always speaks with authority. Because he has skills on what he's speaking about. Afite ubumenyi ku byo ari kuvuga. That is to speak with authority. If you don't have confidence, you can't speak with authority. Utifitiye icyizere mu byo urimo cyangwa ibyo uri kuvuga. You can't speak with authority. Biragoye kuba wavuga ushize amanga. So, do you speak with authority when you are speaking English? Do you speak with authority when you are speaking English? Ese iyo uri kuvuga Icyongereza uvuga wumva ushize amanga. Yes, that is to speak with authority. Yes. For example, I can say her uncle speaks with authority all the time. Ni nko kuvuga ngo nyirarume avuga ashize amanga igihe cyose. It is better to speak with authority. You had better speak with authority because it is very important. Because even when you are learning public speaking, yuri kwiga isomo ya public speaking yo kuvugira mu ruhame bakwigisha nyine just they teach you this. Bakwigisha uko wavuga ushize amanga. They teach you how to speak with authority. Even at a special modern language center, natwe tukwigisha uko naha turi kubikwigisha. Ariko noneho mu ishuri ubikora practically kubera ko uba utangiye kumenyerana n'abandi banyeshuri utangira kuvuga rero ururimi neza. Good. Ushobora kuvuga uti that student spoke with authority when he was presenting his homework. That student spoke with authority when he was presenting his homework. Uriya munyeshuri wa munyeshuri yavugaga ashize amanga, yavugaga ubona rwose ibyo ari kuvuga bimurimo when he was presenting his homework. Igihe yararimo kwerekana cyangwa se yarari kugaragaza ibyo yakoze, ibyo mwarimu yamuhaye umukoro we. That is to speak with authority. Do you speak with authority? You're going to tell us. To speak on behalf of, this is the saying which is mostly used. It's a saying which is mostly used. Iyi saying na irakoresha cyangwa se iyi mvugo irakoreshwa mu Cyongereza. To speak on behalf of. To speak on behalf of means to represent someone else's opinions or interests. That is to speak on behalf of. To speak on behalf of someone is to represent someone else's opinions or interests. Do you get the meaning of this? To represent someone else's opinions or interests. Muri make, niba uri kubyumva neza, wumvise ko to speak on behalf of bivuze kuba uhagarariye inyungu z'umuntu cyangwa ibitekerezo bye. Akaba ari wowe ubitanga cyangwa se akaba ari wowe uri mu nyungu ze. Ushobora kuvuga uti I am here to speak on behalf of my father's ideas. Ndi hano kugira ngo ngaragaze ibitekerezo bya papa. Ntawe uhari ariko yantumye ngo mbabwire gutya. That is to speak on behalf of. If you are speaking on behalf of someone, you are trying to represent that person. Are we together? You are trying to present that person's interests or opinions. Uburi kugerageza guhagararira uwo muntu, umuhagararira mu bitekerezo bye cyangwa se inyungu ze. Ushobora kuvuga uti I am here to speak on behalf of my father's business. Example, you can say I am here to speak on behalf of my father who is not around here. Ndi hano kugira ngo mvugire papa wanjye udahari. Hari ibyo yantumye wenda. That is to speak on behalf of someone. Good. For example, you can say, ushobora kuvuga uti the lawyer will speak on behalf of his client during the trial. The lawyer will speak on behalf of, do you see? Will speak on behalf of his client during the trial. Ni nko kuvuga ngo uriya munyamategeko azavugira umukiriya we mu rubanza. Trial. Twabonye ijambo trial kwa rubanza. So the lawyer will speak on behalf of his client during the trier. Yes, to speak on behalf of ni ukuvugira, kuba umuvugizi w'umuntu kubera ko wenda adashoboye kwivugira, adafite ubwo bumenyi bwo kwivugira, or adahari cyangwa se atabishaka kubera impamvu runaka. That is to speak on behalf of someone. Good. So here we have to speak at length. To speak at length. Do you see? To speak at length. Length, not length. Length, length. To speak at length means to talk about something for a long time. To speak at length means to talk about something for a long time. That is to speak at length. Muri make, to speak at length bivuze kuvuga ku kintu umwanya munini. Bitandukanye rero na to go to the point or to speak to the point. To speak to the point ni uguhita urasa ku ntego. But to speak at length urabanza ugasasira, ukajya hirya no hino, ukarasa, ugaca ikibungo, aho hose urahanyura. That is to speak at length. Ushobora kubwira umuntu uti, let me speak at length about this issue. Let me speak at length about this issue. If you speak at length about the problem, you try to go deeply, to tell people that problem deeply, to tell them about the problem very deeply. That is to speak at length in English language. For example, you can say, sometimes I speak to the point, but on the other side, I used to speak at length when I have a lot of issues to talk about in the meeting. Rimwe na rimwe ndasa ku ntego mu buzima bwanjye, ariko ku rundi ruhande iyo mfite ibintu byinshi, ibibazo byinshi ngomba kuvugaho mu nama, I speak at length. To speak at length rero ni ukuvuga mu buryo burambuye. Voilà. Icyo nicyo kinyarwanda cyanyacyo, kuvuga mu buryo burambuye. That is to speak at length. So my dear, do you sometimes speak at length? Do you often speak at length? Ese akenshi uvuga mu buryo burambuye? Ukunda kuvuga ibintu kabisesengura kabigaragaza neza? That is to speak at length. Now I am speaking at length because this lesson is very important. Ubu ndi kuvuga mu buryo burambuye kuko iri somo ni ingenzi. That is to speak at length. Am I speaking at length? Se navuze mu buryo burambuye? Good. That is to speak at length. Let us continue. Here, before quitting, I would like to remind you of these expressions with verb to speak. Nihuse mu magambo make nababwiye ko to speak to the point bivuze kurasa ku ntego. The second nababwiye ko to speak in someone's ear bisobanuye kujya mu matwi y'umuntu. The third, tubonye ko hano hirya, tubonye ko the third, I have told you that to speak with authority bisobanuye kuvuga ushize amanga, kuvuga wumva wifitiye icyizere. That is to speak with authority. The fourth one, twabonye ko to speak on behalf of someone bivuze kuvugira inyungu z'umuntu runaka udahari cyangwa se ibitekerezo bye ukabibwira abantu yabigutumye wenda. The last one but not the least is this one, to speak at length. Tumaze kubona ko bivuze iki? Bivuze kuvuga mu buryo burambuye. You should try your best to make a lot of sentences by using these common expressions that go with verb to speak. Nibwo noneho uzatangira kuvuga ururimi neza. Try to use these expressions with verb to speak in English language. So I really thank you so much, but if you are a new student, before quitting, before leaving this stage, I would like to remind you of subscribing. If you really want to get our lessons each and every day, subscribe to our channel. If you have loved this channel, niba channel wayikunze ukaba uri mushya, kanda kuri subscribe. niba mu by'ukuri ufite inshuti n'abavandimwe boherereza aya masomo azabafasha mu cyongereza bamenye pronunciation bamenye uburyo bagomba kugira gute kuvuga ururimi pronunciation of a language. Abantu benshi bavuga icyongereza rwose yes, try your best. Ntabwo wagera ku rwego rw'umwene rurimi 100%. It is umuntu uzanabikubwira azabakubeshya ko ushobora kwiga ururimi ukaruvuga nk'umwene rurimi biragoye, but at least you can try to speak like that person, that native speaker of a language. Ariko wagerageza rero kugerageza rero uzabikura hano. I really thank you so much. We are together for the next lessons. Bye bye. Kandi wibuke ko ugomba kugura ibitabo byacu biba birimo ubumenyi bwinshi. Bye.